Yeah. So y'all sound. Let's go to it. Oh, PrimoJAB, am I hogging the interview? My bad. Y'all got.
Of course you are, Lukey, but it's okay, man. You're excited, man.
There you go. Yeah. Y'all ask some questions.
Y'all
ask some questions, yo.
All right, cool. Now we can talk in a safe place and not be reminded of some sort of deeply traumatic experience just because you mentioned something. We can talk. We can talk like normal people. Man, he's back. Never mind. But anyway.
Hit that shit. Yeah. Cool. Welcome everybody to motherfucking issue 188 of the 188 of the motherfucking The Bitch podcast.
That is right.
PrimoJAB, what you got on, yo? What you got on, man? What you got on that day?
You know, just repping. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shout out Mickey Diamond, man.
Yeah, shout out Mickey Diamond, yo. Boom, boom. Karl got the Mondo joint on.
That's right. Pause. Real hustlers take the stairs. Shout out to Slade, man. Yeah, before we get to our special guest here, you got that Mind
Force joint on.
That's right.
Jay Petter, all that shit out there. But let's get to it, yo. These guys right here just dropped a huge record with 3 of my favorite rappers. You know what I'm saying? Fort Worth, Texas own A.dot, C.Dot. The Standouts are on those shows.
Welcome,
you know
welcome.
What's good? What's good?
Nothing, man. I've been to Fort Worth twice.
Light it up real quick.
Nah, man, I was a little kid, man. I was out there at Kenneth Copeland's church.
Oh, the dude who looked like the devil.
Yeah. Kenneth Copeland. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I know exactly who it was. That's the dude who said, God told me I need a private jet. He told me I need 3 private jets.
Yeah. The airport is huge, though. I remember the airport was huge. Correct?
Yep. Yeah. DFW is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, Dallas Fort Worth is a major hub.
It is?
Oh,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I ain't no clue, man. But boom.
DFW.
Boom. Yeah. Word, boom. But y'all cousins? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, first cousins.
Word. So y'all be fighting and shit?
Nah, we got like a 7-year age difference. We ain't got nothing to be fighting about. Totally different dynamic. Yeah. If it was like 2 or 3 years, it'll probably be some fighting and shit going on. Over like a big homie, little homie type of situation. We respectfully, been around each other for forever. So just grown men now still got that same type of dynamic.
Yeah,
nice.
That's what's up. Yeah.
That's gonna be crazy. What I'm arguing about? That's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, like I know. That's wild, yo. Well, I was like, C.Dot. I want to know. You do the samples this time. I'll chop the drums. All of a sudden, y'all shoot the fair one, and then Then,
hey, nah.
You're making me concerned for your family dynamic, Lukey. That's what you automatically assume.
We have fisticuffs.
Yeah, fisticuffs, man.
What other dukes?
I had Uncle Levi. Uncle Levi always to act like he had a knife and he poked me in the back. I got a knife, little nigga, and he go like this. Yeah. Uncle Levi was like 8 years older than me, so I was traumatized. Anyway,
can you believe we got a Lukey trauma dump in the first 3 minutes?
So early, right?
I know.
Early in the game.
I know.
Yeah. What? I mean, got you.
True indeed. Now, people aren't really familiar with y'all story. You know what I'm saying? Y'all came up in the MySpace era. You know what I'm saying? Like we call it the dead zone, the dead time. It was like we got started producing, you know what I'm saying, fulfilling, having your arsenal. Like, yeah, that was a special time for me. Ghostface was killing it. The Man with the Mask. I equate a lot of your, like the BOSWELL sample. That sounds like a Doom beat to me. You know what I'm saying? Because the way y'all, the sample, how it was chopped up and how the drums are EQ'd. Well, the drums are EQ'd, right? They was kind of taking, that shit. Yeah, that son, word. That was perfect for me because that was one of my favorite times hip hop. Yeah, definitely, man. So what? Yeah. Explain how y'all started. Explain how y'all started this and what made y'all want to be a group even though y'all cousins, we know y'all cousins. Y'all like each other, cool. How did y'all?
Right.
Yeah, explain y'all story.
All right, so I guess I was a sophomore in high school when my boy from I known him since elementary or whatever. We went to school together. He had the Fruity Loops program.
02.
Yeah, Fruity Loops.
This is like 02. This is a long time ago. So like it was still called Fruity Loops. It was like Fruity Loops 3.5 or whatever. And I remember
you're the older one.
We was over at his crib and it was you said what?
You're the older one. You're older.
Yeah.
C.Dot is old. That's my bad.
Yes, sir.
This is C.Dot talking. A.dot is over there. If y'all messing the dots up, you know what I'm saying? C.Dot is talking. A.Dot
is A.dot right here with the glasses.
Okay, A.Dot. Okay, my bad. A.Dot with the glasses. You get it right. You get it right now. A.Dot with the glasses. A.Dot is talking. Word.
I am talking and I'm also A.Dot.
Yes.
Yeah, but no.
Continue, my bad.
Yeah, so I was a sophomore in high school when that program came about, and we were just doing it for fun. Like I remember, I stayed up till like 5 a.m. the first day. I was messing with it or whatever. So after that, I was in high school, and I was like the instruments that came in Fruity Loops were trash. So that's how I got into sampling because the sounds were better, and so that's really what got into it. And you got to think like. At this time, like the super producer was kind of a thing. So you had like, I was in middle school when Swiss Beats came into prominence. Manny Fresh, Cash Money had their run. DMX put out those 2 albums. Like I already was into music heavy. I was lucky to be a part of that time. So by the time we got to like college, I was working at this recreation center. It's called the Altatiana Jefferson Rec Center now, but it used to be called Hillside. And Chris was a part of that. He was a camper in the summer camp, and I was a rec leader. And so like it was him and another one of our cousins. The other cousin, his parents used to pick him up, but Chris used to come to the crib with me. And his mom would pick him up from my crib. And on the way to the house, I'm listening to Ninth Wonder. I was heavy into Ninth Wonder at this time, and even getting sample mixes. So we riding around just listening to sample mixes and just getting into it. And so by the time he at the crib, I'm making beats. That's what I do at this point. I'm like, yo, why don't you try to put the drums on this? Or, what I'm saying? And I did that for 2 beats. And then, like you said, it was the MySpace era. I get with this rapper from Fort Worth. He likes our beats. We link up. I had a CD, and, it was like 15 beats on there or whatever, like 20 beats or something like that. And as he's listening to them, some of them, he was like thinking about it. He was like, all right, I'll pick that one. But the 2 that Chris C.Dot put the drums on, he picked those instantly. As soon as the drums dropped, as soon as the sample started and the drums came in, he picked those off the top. So that's when I was like, oh snap! And he was 12 when this happened, by the way. So we got paid for I got paid $500. Yeah, he was 12. He got paid. We got paid $500 for the beats. He co-produced 2 of them, so I took him $40 for 12 years old. What was that 2008? That wasn't so bad. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
I came to the crib. I just dropped that off for him. And so that was kind of like his first drug deal, in the movies where his first drug
Here's
deal.
Your cut, little homie.
Yeah, for real though.
And so the reason why he, even asked me to begin with was because like I'm in middle school, but I'm on the drum line, so I play the snare on the drum line and shit. So he like, why don't you try to put some drums? I'm getting kicked out of class from beating on the desks and shit. Like I'm really into rhythm and music and been into music. Like we grew up in the church, like in the choir, so we both musically inclined already, and so. He thought, let me involve you in some type of way because you always over here while I'm making beats. So let me see if you can fuck with it anyways. And so that one little shot, once I'm hearing my drums played over a sample, the shit on beat, the timing right, I'm like, wow, like I'm locked in. So like
that's it.
It just was pretty much up.
So at this time, I'm a sophomore in college. Every time I come home for the weekend, first thing I'm doing is, and people didn't understand it, like I'm calling my 12, 13-year-old cousin so we can make beats, but they didn't see the vision, but like that's how it happened. And as far as us becoming the standouts, I ain't gonna lie. By this time, Chris had graduated high school and he went off to college. He wasn't doing no work. He wasn't going to class. He was making was so cold that I thought that we should join forces because I didn't want him to be my competition. Let's squad up or you get to get better than me and I would be mad. Yeah, so that's how we came up with Standouts. And as far as the name, it was like I said, I was doing MySpace and all that stuff, and we sent some beats to this artist, and somebody wrote up a review on it. And, they gave it a mediocre review, but they said the standout tracks. And then 2 out of the 3, we only sent them 3 beats for the album, but 2 of the beats that we sent were the standout tracks on that review. So that's how I came with the Standouts.
Yeah, no, it's a brilliant name. And I mean, amazing that you guys had chemistry right off the bat.
Yeah. We pretty much got the same musical tree that we grew up under with our grandparents and our parents. Like everything, we all listen to the same stuff. And then he just out of nowhere get all this music from, up north and everything. Like he was saying, the DMX, Dipset, Ninth Wonder, MF Doom, and he put me on as soon as he get put onto it. And it's just like, man.
Matter of fact, this is a true story. The day that Mossberg came out, I listened. And Crystal, this is a true story. C.Dot, I'll tell you, this is a true story. I texted him. I was like, "Where you at?" And he was at the crib. I went to go pick him up so I could show him this album. Like
2 Dope Boys or something.
Yeah, and I knew Rock Marciano was I knew that was different. I had to go pick him up right then and there in real time. So we always lock in on music. That's our common thread anyway. So it just works, man.
Where y'all get the dots from? For the name.
So my name is Anton, but a lot of people look at it and call me Antonio, Anton, Anthony, Antoine. So I'm putting my first initial and my last A.dot McCray. So I've been getting called that since college just so people miss my name and I get mad. So
and I just copied that nigga. So
there it is.
There you go.
Yeah, cause I was doing research. They got gang shit in New York when they call B.Dot, M.Dot, this type of dot stuff. Cause the sound of your production does not give Fort Worth, Texas. It gives world. It gives a world sound. You know what I'm saying? Comparing to producers all over the world. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that shit. Yeah. I appreciate people that can get in their bag and do a whole bunch of different shit, but it sounds familiar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Word. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. So researching when I found out that y'all's from Texas. Yeah. White Walls. I had to just Google it. I had to Google that shit and be like, oh shit, just one Google PrimoJAB, and then I didn't have to ask no question, huh?
Pretty much, man. I mean, it's not just for porn, man. The internet has all types of useful information on it.
The internet's not for porn?
No, not just for porn. You can still use it for porn.
Not just for porn.
But that's just one aspect of it, Lukey. There's more. Yeah. There's much more.
Yeah. I can see how hot it's going to be outside. That type of shit.
So, Chris, I'm interested. You were on Drumline. Do you still play?
Yeah, I do. I got I keep some sticks in the house, I beat to while I'm listening to samples. Just you know what I'm saying?
That's a pause. That's a pause.
But I play.
Stepping in dangerous lands, my man.
A.dot, you my man, A.dot.
Okay, I'm a drummer as well,
pause,
just so you know.
Big pause, but I'm I play I don't play on the actual live drumline snare shit too loud, but I play on the matches, shit like that while I'm listening to samples and find different. That's actually how I come up with my hi-hats on certain beats. I just take the drumsticks and play it like a snare, and you know what I mean. So that's more so where my rhythm will come out
Nice. I'm a drummer as well.
Yeah, Karl, real nice with drums.
I said I'm a drummer as well. I'm in a heavy metal band, but I do all kinds of drumming.
That's hard. I always wanted to get the drum set, but I picked up the snare and then got it. So it was just damn, I'm gonna just do this shit out. I never really extended the drums, but I definitely want to figure that out one day. And heavy metal, that's crazy.
Well, and I'll tell you, as much as we do,
like that, that's hard.
Yeah, as much as we do, though, I always have respect for drumline drummers because the technique and the skill that you guys have is ridiculous. Like, I wish I knew rudiments and chops like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, that shit is muscle memory for sure. If you don't do it weekly, it'll fucking leave you real quick. So I definitely gotta stay sharp with them things.
Yeah,
my hands can't move. My hands don't move that fast.
Necessary.
Yeah. Pause. Yeah, but my hands can't move that fast.
Now you're paranoid. Now you're concerned. Don't be concerned, man. Don't let the pause sensor over there get you to second guess everything that you say. You can talk. It's all right, man. Feel free to speak.
Like I said, hey, we've been on camera since like 2004, so this nigga been doing this ball shit since I was literally 12, 13 years old. I gotta say, I know better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fucking know better.
Pause, no homo, all that
Back
shit.
When it was no homo, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No homo, Ayo.
Really inappropriate.
Do y'all remember when Guru died and Solar was taking his catalog and shit and Solar? Remember that shit?
Yeah. I used to go to fuck Solar every day.
Yo, son, fuck Solar. We used to say no Solar. Yeah, we used to say no Solar instead of no homo.
No homo. Yep.
Yeah, he said he was my partner. I was like, yo, no homo, no, man. Quit sitting on his grave, man. Yo, quit fucking with Guru. But y'all grew up in the church, correct? Yeah. Y'all grew up in the church. I just heard that, yo. You think that has something?
I was the youth president.
Yeah, Southern Baptist Church.
Oh,
so that's like,
it
ain't as to that extent as like what you would see on TV, like how they depict church in the South. It ain't to that extent, but it's like the choir is like the most important part. Like, like it's really like you can hear the house rocking down the street type shit. Like, it's really like that with the music and down south for sure, and the just everything, the organ, the choir, it's just lit. Like it's really like the. I mean, it's hard to explain. It's just, I don't know. It's jumping. You know what I mean? I don't want to be there. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't like when you in church and you bored all day. Like it's funny. It's like because it's a lot going on in the church of the South. That should be lit though. Yeah. So we definitely grew up in the church.
Yeah, my father's a pastor. I'm from the Midwest, so I know it's a total different. We went all over the place. So church in the South, it's hype and lit until the sermon comes on. Then like you be like, oh man, it's time to go. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's when she gets so funny because like, you know what I mean? Like if the other shit going on and you can hear everything, like it'd be a lot.
In church in the Midwest, we didn't care. We sang, they played the organ or whatever. They sang sometimes a cappella. Then the sermon came on. Then it's time to eat. You know what I'm saying? I came down to the South to church. I'm like, y'all ain't got no food? Like, why am I going to church if we ain't got no food?
Depending on where you go.
It depends on the occasion, you know what I'm saying? It might be that Sunday or something like that.
Sunday.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Anniversary, guest meeting.
We had food every week. You know what I'm saying? Every week we had food. I'm like, damn, man, is it 12 o'clock yet? The Rams about to play. It's time to eat.
That must about 4 p.m.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Boom. So Fort Worth, Texas, y'all don't have a lot of artists out there. You said you met an artist in your area and you gave him the beats. And you sold the beats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
True indeed. Like, how did you expand? I know, Bub Rock. Y'all heard Bub Rock. Oh, you heard Bub Rock.
So, yes, I heard Bub Rock. The way I heard Bub Rock, it's a funny story. So, RR2 Rob Marciano drops.
Yeah.
And what's that, 2018? And at this point, man, the album was so good to me that I had to get in the game somehow. So the A&R for R2 was Animos. So I Instagram DM Animos trying to be like, hey, how can I get beats to Rob Marciano? It's real cold call type style. He was like, man, I make beats, you know what I'm saying? But holla at Jazz. And so got Jazz's info and I reached out to him, but Jazz just so happened to have just posted Bub Rock freestyling over the Biggie joint. I can hear sweat trickling down your cheek. I'm losing Who shot you? I don't know. I just had a brain. But he was freestyling over that, and Bub Rock was nice. He didn't even have 1,000 followers, so I reached out to him, he was down with me sending him some beats, and he picked Water. That was our first song, and that's Shots Beat. You know what I'm saying? I just sent that through, and he picked like 4 or 5 more beats, and that's how we did the XV EP. And from there, it was on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we got with Spoda after that. Kaine.
Yeah.
Like, that was all 2018. So it was on after that. Bub Rock, he's definitely a dope artist. Like, I couldn't believe he only had 100 followers, and he was just really just starting out too. So
yeah,
together like that. And so
when you get to know that, you kind of understand why he don't really maintain or follow, because he don't really give a fuck about that shit. He's just like, he pop up out of nowhere with the music, the shit be popping, and shit. He fuck around, whoever knows, you know what I'm saying? So just
he out the way for real.
He really got it. He really one of the best out, honestly.
Yeah. I gotta co-sign that, man. Bub Rock is another one of them dudes that is elusive out here, man. I've been trying to track him down. I'm glad every time he pops out, he definitely has quality work, you know what I mean? But as far as trying to get a hold of him, ain't no getting a hold of him, you know what I mean? Like, he appears when he wants to appear. So, you know, I get it. I get it. That's cool.
Listen, he's a real artist, like, in that sense. Reclusive, you know, different. He's a real artist like that. So
he really be going to go live and then put that shit in the music. That shit.
It's dope, man. So
well, if you talk to him, you can let him know he can come on the podcast. It wouldn't be a bad thing for him.
I'll holler at him.
For sure. Yeah, that ain't no thing.
What?
I'll be like, hey, man, they looking for you, man.
Check your DM, bro.
Yeah, do the reconnaissance, yo, because sometimes we need a little help. We need an alley-oop.
There's the alley-oop, a little cosign here and there. That's right, you know. But before we go too far past that, man, you know, that reminds me, that's when I was first hearing y'all name popping out, was working with Eddie, working with Spoda, and Bub Rock. I thought, Ty Farris. I thought y'all were down with the Walkers. I mean, y'all big Walker, right?
Yeah, for sure. Facts.
That's what
Shout out to Bub Rock. You know what I'm saying? They embrace this family and shit.
And matter of fact, I said Bub Rock, and then I said Spoda. It was Bub Rock, and then Ty Farris.
He's
like no cosign, just Cocaine too. That really? Like, he's the one that he's the one that we didn't know what Distro Kid was. We registered for ASCAP, all that stuff. Ty Farris put us on all that. So salute Ty Farris for sure.
Shout out Ty.
Yeah, he's a super smart dude.
True indeed. Yeah. When our names really started going everywhere, it was that Blue album, the Blue Azul shit. You know what I'm saying? True Blue.
Dang, yeah, man. We love.
Yeah.
I knew the album. We knew the album was fire. Like, that's how we do it. Like, if we think it's dope, then that's just what it is. Like, anything else after that is like bonus. I didn't think a lot of people got familiar with that album, but that's one of my.
That was a great album.
No, True Blue.
True indeed. True Blue. That's
anything for me. Anything with a link to MF Doom, I'm there for. So anybody that I can tell was influenced, I'm in it. I want it. I want it all.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Doom. Yeah, I know. C.Dot like a guy I don't like. I like him, but I don't like that. Earl.
Here we go.
Who?
Earl
Swisher.
Earl.
Oh, you like Earl? Oh man, what's wrong with Earl?
I like the Earl. I like the early Earl, but now I don't know what the fuck he talking about. What the fuck he talking about, G?
Listen, man, he's talking about some pain.
You gotta think about like Earl's parents. Like, I think his dad is a professor, author. His mom is a professor. So he grew up like just like a philosopher, honestly. And he's just evolving and growing and figuring that shit out. But if you sit down and listen to what that nigga be cooking, man, I fuck with him.
Yeah.
And I came up with him basically like, I teaching all of that shit. Like, that's when I was in high school. So I basically grew up listening to Earl my whole, you know what I'm saying? So that nigga got, like, he you know what I'm saying? I'm connected to him musically like that, you know what I'm saying? So to see his growth and his maturity over the years and just like his content over the years and how that shit has grown and evolved, and I like it. I think he's what he does is unique. It can't be duplicated. So I like that shit.
Yeah.
When you doing something that can't everybody just hop in and do like You know what I'm saying? If they do, they know that's like, hey, he trying to be like him. You know what I'm saying? When you got like a signature style like that, that shit stand out to a little more. And that's one of the first artists from my age group that really just got a signature like that. Because everybody else kind of sounds similar. You know what I mean? So Earl definitely stand out to me, man. It's dope.
Yeah, I like the Earl Sweatshirt album. It's probably one of my favorite albums ever. Then like.
That shit crazy.
Doris.
16.
Yeah, I'm like, but I was running around Peachtree doing horrible things listening to that album right there. Yeah, I like Doris. But after that, it just got weird, man. This shit just got weird.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't understand what the fuck you talking about. Like, I'm like, it's like early Makami when he was saying, when he was talking about anything. Like, I like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? It sound cool, but what the fuck? Yeah, word.
You gotta go through that. You gotta go through that period where you just in your bag.
And you gotta. And the thing about it is, like, one thing I can say about us is, like, not for nothing, we really listen to music. So it's like we might not know what the fuck they talking about at first, either. But like that second, third, so we just ride and we just inactive listening. We're like, oh, wait a minute, that nigga talking that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just now, like, especially when we do music like we do. You know, it's like, it's easy to like, you know, just something dropping and then like listening to it for that moment and then moving on and, you know, stuff getting up. So it's like, sometimes you have to go back to listen to some stuff every once in a while and really listen to see what aged well, what didn't, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So like Earl is the guy, you got to go back and listen to like Good Grief or whatever. That shit's going to
that whole album. I don't go outside. It just had its 10-year anniversary. That's a fucking album, honestly.
I don't know,
you
man.
Run that back.
I'm gonna run it back, man. Supreme Clientele. I understood everything on that album until Ghostface said it didn't mean nothing. Then I'm like, damn,
I think Ghost trolling.
Nothing? What the
fuck? I think he trolling, man. Because some of this stuff makes a lot of sense, bro. It makes a lot of sense. I
don't know, man.
Did I convince myself that it makes sense, or
maybe?
You know, Lightning Rod. What do you say? Lightning Rod, fever, heaters. Shorty got knocked in the receiver bleeder. Me and my homies was like, yo, he fucked her in the pussy. Like, I'm like, yo, swing the John McEnroe, rock and roll. I'm like, yo, this is the most amazing slang ever since Camp Low album. I was like, this is the most crazy.
It sounds pretty cohesive to me, man. Like I said, I feel like
art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like art. That's
true indeed.
He's doing his art.
Yeah, and the way y'all put together y'all samples and beats, you know what I'm saying? It reminds me of rap. Especially figuring out how y'all doing it.
Right.
Like one person's chopping the drums and one person's chopping the samples. It reminds me of rap. It reminds me of that reminds
that's how
me.
I started.
Yeah. But you still be rapping, right? Yeah.
But shit, we ain't really done that in a while. Like we share two self-contained units basically now, so shit or whatever. Because it's the same tree, so shit. Whatever he probably gonna do with the drums or some shit, I'll probably do anyways. So
word up.
Because I'm not a drummer, so I get my drumming, like my cue for drums from C.Dot. Like the drums on that's C.Dot brought drums to the table, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's that. The drums I defect to him or defer to him. But like as far as us, we've had you know, we've been working together since forever. So we've had times when I was chopping samples and he was doing drums. He was chopping up the samples and I was doing the drums. So we've had every combination of co-production to where the only thing, like, we have certain things as like more so roles where, like, if you think about it, Scott is more the engineer and the Sonics. Like, you know how the Neptunes, like, you had Pharrell, you had Chad, what's the one that sounds and make sounds what they were, kind of like that. Like, you know, when it comes to recording, C.Dot's the man, you know what I'm saying? Like, pre-mastering, that's where I kind of do my thing. And, you know, so but as far as just us making beats, we both make beats, you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
And we just, you know, and it's more so not preparation, it's more so like,
it's a taste level.
Yeah, taste level and the quality assurance. So if he makes something and I say that's one of them ones, it's one of them ones. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, you know, and the same thing with him. Like, it was like, even when I tell the story about the BOSWELL beat, like, it was one of those beats that like as long as C.Dot thought it was fire, then it's fire. Like, I didn't think that it would go that far. Like it was like you said, but he said it was dope, so I'm sending it out. It's that simple.
That was definitely some doom shit to me. I heard that shit. I heard that shit come on, but I like to listen to the album when it came out without looking at the credits. So I'm putting the album on.
Right.
I don't know who the fuck gonna rap. You got that nigga from Tragic Allies come on that shit. I'm like, oh my God. Tragic. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm like, oh my God. MySpace days, that nigga was rapping with the Quakers.
Infidels.
Yeah, my nigga. that nigga was on the Quakers.
That shit on there.
That's Portishead. The Quakers. I'm like, yo, you got SD Knack on this shit. Then you got West on this shit. Yeah. Remember Def Jukes? Remember that shit? Back in the day?
I heard, yeah.
Def Jukes, that whole faction, it made me remember all that dope shit that people overlooked because it was like, I don't know. Like when you said Ninth Wonder and shit, that whole time right there, a lot of good music got looked over during that time.
Yeah.
And now
the music that was getting looked over was the music we were listening to. Like, so like, and it was, everything was happening by stands. Like, for example, I came across MF Doom because, I went to a HBCU and in the CAV, they had a channel called MTVU. I guess it was just for college campuses, and they had the Hokeks. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that shit was when I first heard that at the CAF, I'm like, what the fuck? That was super. I got this girl, she was speaking like, what the fuck? I come from around 8, she said super. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to go, and then adult was heavy at that time, so it was like Dom and all types of Doom shit.
Rhymes like Dom's, hell yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that put. I heard MTV Jams, and it was Dead Bent, and the nigga had the mask on. Dead Bent, he had the ball head
right,
in the back. I was like, what?
So every once in a while, they used to play some interesting stuff. Yeah. So
so y'all sound. Let's go to it. PrimoJAB, am I hard on the interview? My bad. Y'all got.
Of course you are, Lukey, but it's okay, man. You're excited, man.
There you go. Yeah. Y'all ask some questions. Y'all ask some questions, yo.
All right, cool. Now we can talk in a safe place and not be reminded of some sort of deeply traumatic experience just because you mentioned something. We can talk like normal people. Man, he's back. Never mind. But anyway. Anyway, one thing that Lukey said earlier that I got to kind of counter, and not in a bad way, but I do kind of think that y'all sound like Fort Worth, man. Not knowing anything about Fort Worth other than the fact that that's where y'all are from. I think that the sound that you have, that being that influence of that Southern Baptist, but also being in Texas, I'm sure that plays into the gumbo of what y'all are doing. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So that's the only reason why I counted that. But I also agree with what Lukey says. Like, y'all definitely have a global cosmopolitan hip hop sound that a lot of hip hop heads can appreciate. Mm-hmm. Like wherever you're from, you're gonna hear that and be like, oh yeah, that's that shit. That's the stuff that I need. It's here. It's just, again, like I said, that southernness is in what you guys are making, man. The product that you're making.
And definitely, I think when it comes to like the southern the influence as far as where we're from, I think the tempo, like how we dictate our tempo to our beat, it's not like super.
The hi-hat.
That's something to learn. Like that was out of my comfort zone. That 80 BPM, that's fast for us. You know what I'm saying? So and also the way we listen. Like one of the reasons why Dipset was able to break through the South so was because the way the heat makers compressed their beats, and they had those bass lines really well for when you're in high school, 212s and the amp. You know what I'm saying? So when we make our music, it's like the bass has to, even if it's not a drum, even if it's not, there's no drum, bass is gonna kind of, we're gonna want it to rattle the trunk a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely like one thing I would like to describe our sound is I used to go from Firth to Hawkins. It's like a 2-hour drive, and I would just listen to Built for Cuban Links straight through all the way to so that's what my personal production sounds like. Listen to for Cuban Links on the way to Country Town in Texas in a 96 Ford Escort. So that's how, you know what I'm saying? So there you go.
What's kind of crazy to me though is being a musician, I'll really isolate the music from the rap a lot of times when I'm listening. And if I took all the rappers off of your tracks, I definitely feel like you guys have a sound, but when they're saying that it's kind of a global sound, to me, I would term it as universal, because you can have your sound, but Vic Spencer doesn't sound the same as WestSide Gunn sounds, as Spoda sounds, as Eddie sounds on your tracks. And to be able to to be able to express yourselves in such a true kind of grounded hip hop sound, to have your definite own sound, but at the same time, it be so adaptable to the rapper, is so unique and incredible. And it's one of the reasons that I really fuck with what you guys do.
Check it out. Boom. I remember I was doing the other podcast in the Connect tape. That sounded experimental as fuck to me. And anybody knows me, I love Portishead, I love trip hop, I love all type of genre of music, and it all means hip hop to me. You know what I'm saying? So I like, for y'all to move the way y'all move and have y'all sound the different sounds. I like it. I like it, man. I like it. I fucks with it, man. I fuck with a lot of different genres of music.
And honestly, we just make it what we want to make. Like,
there you go.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. That keeps it honest.
But at one point, it was an intentional thing for us to be diverse and, you know what I mean, have versatility and sample other genres. Like, we made it a point, like 10 years ago, to just like, hey, let's start trying to sample every fucking, I don't give a fuck what it is. Put it on, you hear some shit that's fire, sample that shit, and then go from there. Like, so that, like, we made that shit a point so long ago that it's just like, we don't even think about it anymore. Yeah, it is. It was a conscious thought for us to be like, hey, we gotta be diverse, because why we gonna call ourselves the Standouts if we sound like everybody else? You know what I mean? So it's so the name kind of play off of itself. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It set a tone.
Yeah, sure.
Trendy. And it don't sound old. You know, whenever this genre was started, a lot of people that were sending out beats, the beats sounded old, bro. It sounded like some Killer Army just loop it up a million times. Like, don't kill me, y'all don't come for me for hating on the Killer Army album. But like, just loops.
You're saying exactly the truth, Lukey. It sounded like
just didn't. You just
recycled basic loop griminess. But again, that's why I was talking about earlier. Like, y'all definitely got your own sound, your own vetted version of what you're trying to do. You just try to make what you like, but it's been influenced by the same world that Lukey's talking about. But it's not a direct copy, man. It's definitely not a direct copy. But that's dope that you say, you were riding 2 hours playing Cuban Links back and front.
In the Escort.
You know what I mean? Because that essentially, that would give you kind of the aesthetic map that we're talking about, I think, to get to that universally understood language, that sound.
Yeah, a quintessential album in hip hop.
Quintessential. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. And then, like I said, during college, that's when it, like, college for me.
Heavy, man. That's just, is that the correct term? That shit slaps. Yeah. Okay, boom. To have beats that slap in this genre of music, to have beats that slap in this genre of music is something that I guess Benny figured out early. Because a lot of shit was no drums and it was slower. You know what I'm saying? And then I think what was it? The Tanner Talk 2 came out and he had some slappers on there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, so like, boom, the slappers they finally started coming. No one was, I mean, So definitely, y'all shit slap, man. I think it's the Texas shit.
But and as far as like that goes, it's like, you know, like there's an art to all of that. Like, so even like when it seems like all right, everybody's just on the drumless beats. Like, there's an art to drumless beats, and then doing drums, like I said, you know, saying C.Dot he has a drummer's instinct about him. Like, that's not just the easiest thing to do. That's why when you said earlier, a lot of beats sounded basic and formulaic, it was because it was formulaic. there's detail. The devil's in the details when it comes to that type of stuff. So, it's something that has to be developed. It's serious business. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that we had to learn. Like over the last year, I feel like we turned the corner and we've been able to build with like August Fanon. You know what I'm saying? Like he gave us game, a lot of gems that cracked the code, and then again, we talk about the underground from 2018 and how a lot of collaboration was happening. Like, we built a lot of relationships with a lot of producers just talking shop since, like, a lot of time, like, really since the pandemic. Like, I'm real cool with Denny LaFleur. You know what I'm saying? I've been chopping it up with him about shop and stuff like that since, like, for a long time. So, for us to be able to, like, when Still Praying come out, and say I can hit up Dennis Flint like, yo, how you met, saying I can ask him a question and he's giving me gems like, hey, don't share this with nobody else type stuff. So of course I'm sharing it with him, but that's the first thing I'm doing.
But that's yourself. He's not anybody else.
That's it.
He's not anybody else.
I don't talk to him. He's very social and he do a lot of leg work as far as maintaining relationships.
So the production that you're hearing is the culmination of a lot of it's not just looping samples. It's not just it's more to it than that. And building with the builders has been a huge help for us. Even like when it comes to hardware, Pauls, I can go hit up Don Carrera if I'm about to buy some new equipment and try to set it up. We have these type of relationships with dope producers, so
that's excellent.
We're really fortunate on that.
Yeah, man, y'all deep in the fraternity of it, man. I mean, even going back like. Again, to the Walker side of things. I mean, you got Wavy, right there, just to be able to nerd out.
Yeah, Wavy, like I said, with Bub Rock, after he did XV, he came with another project, and that was the first time that you hear Wavy and Don Carrera, and they were both dope. And I remember I was reaching out to Wavy to tell him how dope he was. He was on the Greyhound bus en route to New York to start this whole shit.
Yeah,
like,
wow.
That's how long I've been cool with Wavy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, I'm on Greyhound right now. I'm about to move to New York and do this music shit. Like, that's how long we've been cool.
That's dope.
That's his wild, man.
Right.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
That's the second crazy story I heard about Wavy the God. The second story was Mondo hit me up. He's at the airport. I said, yo, I think I just saw Wavy the God at the airport. I'm like, word? Yeah, I think he's picking his daughter up. A year later, I saw Mondo Airplay in the airport. I'm like, word, for real? That was you? That's what's up, man. Word. Small world, man. Small world, man. Wavy is dope, man. What equipment y'all be using now? Y'all still on the Fruity Loops? Y'all still use the Fruity Loops?
FL Studio, man. FL Studio.
Don't fix it, they say.
I agree. It is not really. A lot of people, back in 2010, 2008, there's mad purists talking about if you don't have equipment or you don't have techniques to spin your records, it sounds trash still, G. Your shit still, you have an SP1200, that shit sounds trash. You have a computer, you can have a unlimited sample time, right? You can do that, right? Your shit still, So
this right here is the best tool that you can have for making music. Right. I don't care what you have in front of you. Yeah. I've seen people use ridiculous methods. But if you got the brain power behind it,
that's a fact.
But
like man, with the fucking iPad, I still don't understand that shit. Yeah. I still don't understand how Madlib is making all of these beats on the iPad. Like, if I ever figure that out, I'm probably have 1,000 beats coming out a day. Like, that shit is crazy. But yeah, your method, like whatever your tool is, it's just about getting as sharp as you can with that motherfucker. So shit, we've been on the same Fruity Loop version. We don't upgrade the version. Nothing like
FL Studio 10. FL Studio 10. Yeah. And matter of fact, with I was chopping it up with August Fanon. He had to upgrade. He was mad about it. He missed FL Studio 10, so that's the one.
That's like home, sweet home.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, you better back that up on a terabyte drive somewhere, man. Go ahead and get them files just in case they try to send you the sneak upgrade.
Man, there's drums I got from when I first started making beats in 2002 that I still have and I still use till this day. Like my first drum kit.
Bro, I'm with y'all. I got Pro Tools LE on Windows 7. The same microphone I got. The same we call presets to mix. I got, bro. If it, yeah. PrimoJAB. Every time you've been over here, it's the same. It's been since like 2006.
He can't plug the computer into the internet because he doesn't want it to update anything. He'll lose everything.
Got to stay on the grid.
Bro. I get it. I get it. It's like a fucking fighting style, bro. Like once you master your fighting style, why would you go and try to learn karate? Like I already know taekwondo. I already know this shit. Like I can whoop your ass with this already. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need to learn that else. You feel me?
The only time. Okay, shit. I agree with that. The only thing, and it, I guess I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say anyway. DJ Premier, when he switched to analog to digital, the sound didn't sound. It don't sound the same to me no more. It don't. So
well, I mean that's anybody though. That's analog.
Okay, it's like LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
Or Lonzo shooting the slingshots. That shit was wet. But he changed his jump shot. It's not as wet no more. You know what I'm saying? Pause. So that's why I equated. Yeah. That's how I equate change. The RZA flood. Look, you had to change your equipment. You know
here's a visible difference between analog and digital. You have a basketball, it's made out of leather, right? It's filled with air. And it's strips of leather creating this thing. You can 3D print a basketball and it'll have the same shape, but what you're dealing with is flat layers. So with analog, you get this full robust sound because you're dealing with, instead of these individual thin layers of digital sound, you're dealing with the full. So that's like, I mean, anybody that switches from analog to digital, and I understand I use digital, everybody uses digital. It's the way of things now. Try to find a decent reel-to-reel is almost impossible. But that era when it shifted, I mean, that's just the way it went. There's nothing. We're never really going to get a lot of that analog fullness back ever.
Yeah, but the bottom beats was not. I don't like shit to stay still. Shout out to DJ Dread Eye. I'm spoiled because whenever that MySpace era was there, his beats went from here to there, then back to there, then there. That shit never stayed the same. You know what I'm saying? I like shit like that. It's like a movie. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like. Don't switch your jump shot, yo. If that shit working, you making jump 3-pointers. You know what I'm saying? Don't switch your jump shot.
Again, you have different so you can. It might not be analog, but you can create a sound that's you just have to learn. You have to learn your equipment. Like you can like the air in the sample. You can EQ that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do a lot. So you just have to you have to get busy. Pause.
But I definitely get what he's saying. It's just like so much of that is lost. Like how from the record to the uploading. You know what I'm saying? It's just for sure.
I think there are advantages to digital and in the recording process, and all my recordings are live instrument recordings. But it's there's just fundamentally a difference. It's like, a record versus a CD. There's a different sound to it. But if you take a record from today versus a record from the 80s, it's fundamentally different. You can, and it just is. But I think, we've had digital long enough that people have found ways of really getting incredible full sound with the digital.
That's kind of some of the information we picked up from August. Like he helped us with like getting the sample a little bit. I don't want to say fuller, but more colorful. You know what I mean? Like just
dirtier, little layers.
Using Fruity Loops. So there's definitely ways to try to get it as close to that as possible and shit. That's definitely something we try to do, like as far as the finishing touch. Cause we mix and master our beats and shit and send them hoes off, they ready to go. You know what I mean? So
and your production value is always top notch.
Appreciate that.
Hey, yo, pause. I like it dirty though. A lot of times I like it dirty. You know what I'm saying?
It's a science to that too. Like it's a tweaking to getting this shit to sound muddy and still like BOSWELL. It's just a little. It's got that grimy sound, but it's still there enough to where you can feel the drums, you can hear the drums, but it's not taking nothing away from how dirty the sample is. And then they get on there and get the rapping, and it's just like, oh my fucking God, bro. Like hearing that shit for the first time, bro.
That shit was crazy.
God damn, bro. Like that shit blew my fucking mind. So 3 of them dudes on that motherfucker like done, then fucking cooked. Like, come on, man.
So, I know the story's been told, but tell the story. How that come about, yo? The BOSWELL beat on the WestSide Gunn.
The story is not that. It's not that great. It's just basically, I had WestSide Gunn email for like a couple years, but I wasn't just trying to like just cold call, email them like that. I was trying to like get the green light, somehow, some way or whatever. But after we cracked the code and we turned the corner on our production to where we like, hey man, we super nice, man. I'm tired of playing. Mm-hmm. And that's when we sent the like I said, after we built with August Fanon, the first batch of beats, I sent it to the email that I had, and one time we was chilling. I was chilling at the crib, and I got an email from WestSide Gunn. He was like, "Yo, peace. I'll rap to that. The name of the beat was Studio Orchestra Joint." He said, "Peace. I just cooked to that Studio Orchestra Joint." So then after that, that's when the snippet, he was in the Escalade, like boom, just like that. And so I was like, oh shit. And it was crazy because I was with my wife at the time, and when I met the thing about it is I tried to get beats to WestSide Gunn before I even heard of Bub Rock, before Rosewood Revenge 2 came out, before any of that, before Gunn got signed to Shady, or before he did the Rock Nation. Like when he was on the come up, I was trying to reach out to him. So this is something like, even on the first day with my wife, I was like, man, it's this rapper named WestSide Gunn I'm trying to get beats to. And, we done got married, had a child, all types of stuff. So when that happened, I was like, we finally made this shit happen. And this nigga was asleep. I tried to FaceTime him.
I be sleeping.
He was, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my God, dang. And you know what else is crazy? Speaking of this nigga being asleep during major events.
Oh, shit.
This is funny. Fun fact. On 2/22/22, that was Spoda's birthday, and that's when DJ Premier played a song called Heavy Walk on his program. And DJ Premier's from Texas like us, so that's one of our influences, you know what I'm saying? So when that happened on that day, and I tried to hit him up, he sleep. The next day, for real? Yeah. What's up? So yeah, he be sleeping through major events, man.
I should get that sleep.
Yeah, man. But that's how it happened. And then, but as far as that, even with that, like if you follow WestSide Gunn, he posts snippets all the time. He has the Fly Guy Secret tape. So just because he posts something on Instagram don't mean it's gonna make the album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when the track list came out and we saw that we was second, we was pretty much starting the album off, like that was like, man, that's just, God going above and beyond. I definitely prayed to work with WestSide Gunn, but I didn't know he was going to bring that. And we didn't know that Cooks was on there until the track list came out. So I'm like, I didn't know he was going to do a verse of the year. I didn't know they was going to shoot a video. All this stuff is like crazy. Super crazy. Yeah, but it's like it's the beginning. It's like now the real work starts. You know what I'm saying? Now we've been cooking up crazy, you know what I'm saying, getting even more scientific, getting even more into the details, trying to be great. That's what we about anyway, is just, we want that acclaim. So, that's what it's about. It's not like, of course we want to get some money and all that stuff, but it's more so about being like some of the coldest producers, like,
and being known.
Yeah, like, so from a critical standpoint, you know what I'm saying? So
and there's a wave that happens. So, as you're coming up in your career, well, not even just that, there are going to be, waves that kind of push you into different levels, and you hit that first 1,000 followers or whatever and so on. But you're at a point now where I think 7,000 plays or something. It's like, it's the most popular song on the album.
That's awesome.
Not 7 million. So yeah, it's like a lot.
But there's going to be, from that wave, that kind of push for you guys. Have you got other projects kind of loaded and ready to go? Because
yes, for sure.
That's always
and you got to think, like, through this time we've been able to forge some relationships with some generally dope artists. So like, like Laura Juco, You know, we got to follow the white walls. Yeah, we got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to work, we got to work with Kaine, Jamal Gasol. We got, we still got to finish up the cook-up. Water, yeah. A lot of artists that we enjoy working with.
So, you just opened the door to my favorite part. Like, this is what I really like talking to y'all about, or what I like talking to guests about, is just like you said, naming that network of people that you got in the tuck. I mean, some of the work that you've been doing over the past, let's say, 2 years solidly, but even before that, all the way back to 2020, like, you put together some statement pieces. Like, both of the honorable joints with Water are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
And that's like, just like y'all are talking about what this one feature did as far as like kind of putting more spotlight on you, or more kind of notoriety towards y'all. Like, I would argue heavily that y'all already were in that pantheon of people that was reliably known. You gonna make some dope shit. Pimp C would never. With motherfucking Conspiracy, that project.
Man, hey,
that's a
appreciate
good
you
name.
saying that, man. I thought that's one of my favorite projects, man.
It sounds like it, because that's another one of those ones. Like, when we talking
very
about
relevant, and Conspiracy, one of my favorite people to work with.
Yeah, shout out to Conspiracy, man.
Look, y'all laced them, man. Those are the type of Pimp C would approve of that. You know what I mean? Like, that one song, that intro song, Pimp C would never. I mean, that's definitely
and you know what? And that was
rap tunes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to say that that's the first album where we produced it, like, from top to bottom, cradle to grave.
Okay.
Mixed and mastered, the interludes, the Pimp C, the using this voice to carry the album and stuff. We all Conspiracy, all he had to do was rap, and we did everything else. And that was the first time that we did something like that. And it was like, that's why when you say that album, it's like, that's good that you think that that's dope, because we did that. Like, that was our first time really just sitting together and executive producing an album, and that's something that we really enjoy doing. So the feedback that means a lot.
Yeah, fast.
Yeah, shout out Conspiracy. Y'all been on the joint.
Yeah, it's a great project, man. That's a great project. Y'all put y'all foot in that mix right there.
Shout out to the Rims too. The Rim Brands.
Yeah, Rembrandt.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
facts.
Like,
Rim, man, that's the homie.
That's what I'm saying, man. You got so many. Again, like, you know, this y'all getting that placement is just, I think, kind of the justification of, motherfucker, we out here. You know, y'all better recognize and realize what we on. But I mean,
exactly how you go across.
You can look at your resume, and y'all can look at the footnotes, and, you know, we can say, I mean, here's Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C. I mean, like, duh, y'all finally get it. Standouts. It's not just a name. God damn it, like, we stand out.
Right? Yeah.
Facts.
But still, like I said, I tweeted something a couple days ago. I said, something like, I'm just glad that this year niggas know we not playing. I think they thought we were playing before. You know what I'm saying? I felt that way. Like, we not playing. Shit. Like, we dead serious. I know we from Fort Worth. I know the story seems like a novelty. Like, oh, they cousins. No, we really listen, man. Like, you talk about the MF Doom influence. For a couple months, we used to drive around listening to nothing but MF Doom, like studying the production, like the herbs, the instrumental albums and all that. Like, we had that
Special
too.
Herbs?
Yeah, we listen to Special Herbs, like all that type of stuff. Like,
I'm gonna send y'all something after we get off here. I'm gonna send you something. Special Herbs, yeah. Hey, bro, MF Doom is my fucking. That's my Tupac and Biggie right there.
I'm with you there.
He's definitely in a high regard.
He's my all-time great.
Because Donuts
he's my favorite.
A very special place for me.
Donuts as well.
Donuts. Like, I could listen to Donuts 24 hours straight. Yeah, bro, like that's my.
Actually, whenever I get stuck, if I get stuck and then, like, you know, the samples ain't hitting, I'll go listen to Donuts. Like,
wow,
to get you know, to get inspired again.
You know,
it made me feel good just thinking about that. I ain't been doing this in years, but I'm like, I'm gonna listen to it when I go to sleep right now.
I appreciate y'all not being too cool to say that sometimes you get stuck and sometimes you gotta, you know, listen to some favorite projects to get some inspiration again. Because some, you know, you speak to some artists, you know, out here that act like, no, you know, I was just sitting in a dark room and then the inspiration struck me like a lightning bolt and I created this from nothing. And, you know, like they don't want to acknowledge that. I was influenced by this dope album, or I heard this one person say this, you know?
Facts. Yeah. That's the only way I can create, really, at this point, especially like I gotta be in a groove, like the groove gotta hit me and I gotta stay in it and I gotta finish it out. Like I can't just force it, you know what I'm saying? It don't come from nowhere. Something sparks it and then I go from there. Like, and that's always how it's been. I love that shit.
One of the things that I've been doing a lot, in my band, we'll do cover songs occasionally for performances. And I found that I was learning so many chops and breaking so many like habits that I had by learning other people's stuff that I now just made it part of my practice routine. Every week I pick a different song and then I just start digging into it and breaking it down. And sometimes it's rock, sometimes it can be anything, but you start learning licks and different things that I wouldn't normally think about attacking it with triplets down through here. Or I wouldn't, and then I start incorporating that stuff into my writing in the band. And it's the best. It just, you need that. You need that.
It's cool to be a fucking nerd when it comes to something like being a nerd about something is fucking cool as fuck. Nobody say
I agree.
Like, you really seeing people be really, really, really into something is fucking dope to me. Like I don't care what it is. It could be fucking Pokemon. If you really into that shit and you like going out your way to be like known for the best and having the best like catalog of Pokemon, like I respect that shit. It don't matter what it is.
And there's something cool about seeing somebody just like in their passion.
That's how I used to pull. I used to pull bitches. This is in the apartment. It's in the department store area. Department store, moms is down there. It's Atlanta talk right here. I used to pull bitches and like there be definitely niggas out there scamming and like a lot. I guess per se cooler than me. Even though I was cool and hey, I hung out with the scammers. But I used to always tell them that I'm a nerd. And like boom, I love you better than a regular nigga because I love something. They don't even love themselves. Yo, I love this right here. I got I got all the Secret Wars in here. I got all the Marvel medals. I got all the Marvel masterpieces. I got all the Marvel X-Men cards right here. So I got Disco Dazzle #1. I got Power Team #1. I got Luke Cage #7. I got all this shit. I love all this shit. I'm at the comic book store every Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? I love something. So I can love you. These niggas don't know. They don't love. I said this shit like 80 times to hoes.
Right. Hey, you talking right now, bro. You really talking though, to be honest, bro. You really talking some shit. Seeing somebody be passionate about something, that shit is infectious. Like it rubs off.
Damn, why didn't I know you in high school, man? I could have learned all kinds of shit.
I don't know, man. Lukey sound like a nerdy dirty Mac to me, if you ask me, man. You don't want to be around them. They ain't got Luke Cage #1. They don't have Infinity War #7. Like, you need to kick it with me. He doesn't know about this. It's like, bro. You pouring salt on people.
I hop at the pussy like Spider-Man on Secret Wars like this with the black suit. You know what I'm saying?
What? Secret
Wars, he got the black suit for the first time. But definitely. What y'all said, what y'all dropped, you know what I'm saying? A and C.Dot. Being a nerd about something, definitely. That means you perfecting your craft. You know what I'm saying? You love it. You love it. And I can tell you I love it.
That's all it means.
Yep.
For y'all to be making music this long together is another thing. Y'all ain't took no breaks. Like, y'all ain't.
You know what? Sometimes
not a clean break, but it'll be periods where, like right now, like I ain't really been making as many beats as I like need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I should be making lately, and like he been kind of carrying the load. And it's been times where he was having a baby, he was getting his masters when I was in my zone cooking up and kind of carrying more of the weight. So we go through periods where we like not doing as much. Like we probably working 20 or 30% as you know what I'm saying of the percentage of what we would be putting out. But like we ain't never just stopped completely in the whole time we.
And that's the point of us. You know, those years where we had a lot of free time and no responsibility, and you know, spending time. You know, I'm chopping up samples, he doing drums, and then reversing the roles or whatever. So, like the brand is bigger than the brand is bigger than either one of us. So it's like, you know, life get in the way. You know, it was times when C.Dot had like an overnight job or all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot going on, and I didn't have nothing to do but make beats. So I'm like, all right, cool. Just hey, whenever. Like I remember telling him, like we were roommates up until 2018. Really, by the time this stuff really jumped off, we were still roommates. And I was like, man, listen, shit, shit about to get real. So just be ready for when shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm finna crank this shit up. And so like, but he still, you know, at this time he had like 3-4 jobs. You know, was a real hustler. So you know, when the XV stuff started dropping, and then you know we start working with stuff, and then like. We ended up on Shade 45, you know, little gradual things like, nah, shit getting real. And then, you know, he come in and, you know, he could pick up where he left off. Because, see, here's the thing. Like, C.Dot is, you know, we talk about roles. C.Dot is the soul of the Standouts. Like, honestly. So, like, C.Dot is the reason why The Laugh is our beat tag. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he provided the drums to BOSWELL. He did the first song in the Underground, Miracle Water. That was our first foray into this lane, and that's his beat. So when I say he's sold the Standouts, he's like a pure, true talent artist, where he's not going to just sit down every day and just crank up beats. But when he get in the zone, he can find a sample, make the beat, mix it, bounce it down, rap over it, mix his own, record himself, mix his own vocals. He can do all that stuff by himself and shoot a video. Like, he's a real artist. Damn. So when you got a real artist like that, you just let him cook when he feel like cooking, man. And you know what I'm saying? Keep shit going. When shit get real, he'll be ready. But he's a real artist. Exactly how it is. Yeah, he's a real artist. I'm good at, like, I'm kind of an artist, but I'm more of like I'm a nerd, you know what I'm saying? Like, he like 30,000 hours in, so this shit like second nature to him to get up and cook up samples and make beats. Like, he can do literally, like, when people say I can do that shit in my sleep, he can do that shit in his sleep for real. Like, so like those two forces combined together, like, and then like I'm saying, we cook off of the same tree, like we come from the same musical tree, so we know the standard.
So artistically in the same line.
True name. I fucks with you.
Yeah, facts.
What up?
Yeah.
I think we need to have a top 5 PrimoJAB.
Yes. Yeah. It's finally about that time. So I really, it's going to be a top 10 because I want it to be from A.dot and C.Dot. Yeah, man.
Okay. Damn.
As far as like what you've seen currently in this new ecosystem of ours, this abyss, who are you most anticipating working with? Like, who's on your list? You can approach it either way. Who inspires you, like production wise or artist wise, like performer wise, that you're like, yeah, I want to collaborate with them or I want to work with them?
Go first. Let me go. All right.
I see that.
So somebody that inspires me. Yeah, I'll say Tyler the Creator is one person.
Hell yeah.
Like, not necessarily, just like he really built a whole world for every album, and them shit sound different, but it still be hip hop at the core. And like, I think that shit is just, and like, that's like I said, the same thing with Earl. Like, I came up, like, when I'm in high school, like, you know what I'm saying, feeling like coming in my own shit, like I'm listening to these niggas and I don't watch them evolve. So I put Tyler Creator in there as far as a producer, a rapper, just somebody that make me want to do music. Gotta put the Alchemist in there. I'm sure he's gonna be in.
Hell yeah.
I guess I'm going producers first. So Tyler Creator, Alchemist. We talking currently. Damn, it's hard to answer these types of questions.
It is. It is hard.
I said go first.
Yeah, like, I know that's why you talking to me like, yeah, like, shit. It's hard to answer these types of questions.
There is no wrong answer.
I'm really glad you said Tyler, because a lot of people don't realize, some people don't even realize Tyler chop up all that shit. I'm like, you don't know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he do all of that shit. Everything he did come from that nigga mind. He like a Quincy Jones and a Kanye West in one. Like, he composed and he actually do it.
Yeah, he produces.
So, yeah, that nigga is nice. Damn.
You got 2, right?
I'm gonna do 2. You do 2. We're going back and forth.
There you go.
Hold on. You got Tyler, Alchemist for C.Dot. Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll say mom's producers. I guess I don't know.
So A.dot got 2.
All right. So, well, yeah, he said Alchemist. So that that's a shared
definitely
favorite or whatever. But for me, as far as rappers, man, I want to work with Pusha T, man.
I see
Pusha
that.
Pusha T is nice, man, and I think he could just like Pusha T. Of course, still Rock Marciano. That like he's like one of my he's one of my favorite rappers. Period. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. It's been that since, like I said, since Markenberg dropped consistently.
Yeah.
Shoot, man, like, dang, I crossed 3 off the list already. A.dot, Gunn, and Cooks, that's cold. But
damn,
Willie the Kid, I want to work with Willie the Kid.
Yeah, Willie would be good with y'all.
Sure. Hey, sorry, I'm childish, but
I would say as far as rappers, I want to give beats to Jim Jones, Freddie Gibbs.
I read that. I thought it would have switched up right now. I thought you would have switched up. and had him talk the top 5.
But Jim, I still fuck with Jim Jones, man. Like,
Jim Jones can rap, man.
Jim Jones is one of my favorite rappers since like back when he couldn't even really rap that good. Like, I was like, nice. Yeah. It's just something about the delivery and he really be meaning that shit. You could tell, like, I just like his delivery and the way he get his points across when he rap. Yeah, and he got better at the end. Like, that nigga nice.
Jim Jones. Yeah, just don't get in his way on an escalator is all I'm saying.
Nah, he beat that ass.
He will beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, he's mean as fuck, but I definitely want to get that nigga. That shit, rest in peace, MF Doom, of course. Would love to have been able to have the opportunity to get him beats, man. Cause shit, I got so much. Like, it's time. I got so many beats. I'm just like, damn, that nigga Doom will fucking kill this shit. I sound crazy on this shit. And it's like, I don't know who else I can send that to. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean? Because there ain't too many people who can do what you do.
That nigga
Earl,
said,
of course.
Yeah. I was, hold on. Goony Goo Goo, Looney Cuckoo, like Gay Gnu off New Missouri Review, but who knew the mask had a loose screw?
The mask had a loose screw. Hell could hardly tell. I had to tighten it up like the drills on Archie like, come on, man. Look at me talking, man.
Who wasn't even tweaked
like that? Leaked in the type of space, man. Like, that's my guy, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, Earl's a doomhead. Earl's a doomhead too. Earl's a doomhead. So that's that's what attracts me to Earl's style and like the delivery is just like doom-esque, but he also got his own little twist to it too. So Earl, and then I guess you can jump back in, and I think of my last one. Okay.
I mean, shoot. I still want Jay-Z to rap over one of our beats too. Like, I mean, I have lofty ambitions, man. Nothing is impossible.
That's right. Keep it. That's right.
Anything's possible.
Like, I wouldn't be mad if Hov just did a freestyle to BOSWELL and just, you know what I'm saying, and just drop that shit. You know what I'm saying, something like that. You know, but it's a lot of artists that I still, you know, like Ty Dale, you know.
Free Ty.
I want to work. He's one of my favorite rappers right now. One of the nicest new people out. You know, more work with Stove God Cooks. I would, I would like to do a lot more work with him. And
he got released out that deal finally.
They don't hate the fool's joke.
That's it. Why would they? Like, that's not. Why would they play like that? Fucked up.
Just saying the date was April 1st. I'm not sure. Yeah.
All right.
I didn't even see that shit.
Maybe grand foul for that if that's what they did.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. And he ain't getting no real money out that deal, I think, either. He got like a little.
I don't know about none of that.
No. So, A.dot, I got Pusha T, Rock Marcy, Willie the Kid, Jay-Z, and Ty the Deal. I think
that's a pretty solid 5.
That's a solid list.
That's a great 5.
That's a solid list.
All right, and we got 4 so far from C.Dot.
You owe me 1.
And then my rappers, I go Tyler the Creator, MF Doom, Jim Jones, Freddie Gibbs,
and Earl.
Yeah.
Gibbs. I can see Gibbs. Y'all definitely can.
Yeah, man. Gibbs can rap, man.
Gibbs can rap, and he getting better every time he come out again. Like he gets better and better. I'm like, damn, this nigga already is really good, and he keeps getting better and finding different pockets and flows and trying different shit. Yeah.
He on beat.
Really on some like untouchable shit these days. Like really, nigga pen is sharp, like for sure.
He's the opposite of Silk the Shocker. You know, Silk the Shocker used to rap on beat all the time. Freddie Gibbs is on beat all the time, yo. Also a C.Dot. I had I read a joint on a joint. You like Bankroll Fresh. You know what I'm saying? Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember
Bankroll Fresh.
Yeah. I remember the day he got murdered. That shit was wild out here, my dude. Then other niggas got murdered. That shit.
Yeah.
Then 21 Savage went on stage when that nigga he said, I think the nigga's name No Gum, he said, yo, tell everybody you the nigga that killed Bankroll. Whatever. It was like
no jumper, bitch ass.
Yeah, Joe Jumper,
no plug.
I was like,
no plug. There you go. That's his
no
name.
plug, no plug, not No Gum.
The
No
most
Gum
garbageous rapper from Alabama.
But that shit was wild, man. That shit brought back flashbacks of a whole nother side of Lukey Cage, yo. When I saw that said Bankroll Fresh, I was like, what? Yo, that nigga like Bankroll?
That's that Bankroll Fresh, that life of a trapper,
son.
That whole project, boy.
Son,
we was on that.
Supposed to be carrying Atlanta right now.
And those D-Rich beats, man. Oh my god, he picked some of the coldest beats.
He definitely had an ear.
Lost like a staple.
Yeah, man. He was like a real Atlanta rapper. You know what I mean? Like he was Atlanta ass rapper dude, man. You know what I mean? And he wasn't like trying at all, like to make Atlanta sounding stuff. You know what I mean? Like he was just making his music, and it ended up becoming just anthems for the city, man. It was dope. He was like
kind of like Shawty Low.
Exactly.
Like when Shawty Low came out. Like,
exactly. Same vein.
You believed everything he said. He was so Atlanta.
And he had some of the best. He picked some of the best beats.
The best beats. Like
Shawty Low had an ear, boy. Absolutely. I'm the man. Come on, man. I'm the man.
Was the sound of the time.
Absolutely. He
with Cat.
Same thing with
Flame.
Yep. Shout out to Flame.
Yeah.
Shout out the whole WestSide Bankhead, all that, man. But there's a lot of and that goes back, I think, to what we were talking about earlier, man. Like people that are from a certain place, right? But they're not really trying to make something that is purely for that place. It's their music, it's their sound. It just happens to be steeped in the vibe of wherever you're from, but it's gonna be embraced worldwide. It's gonna be embraced universally because you hear it. It has that same whatever it is that click in all of us. It's like, yep, that's hitting that vein right there. That's exactly what I need.
Like and what's funny is like our city, Fort Worth, like they like such a niche sound that like they don't really fuck with the shit that we known for across the country.
Nobody gives a shit out
here. They don't give a fucking Fort Worth. Like, doing with this music shit. Nobody gives a shit. It's not the sound down here. Like,
listen, man, they haven't even heard of WestSide Gunn down here. Like they're not familiar. Yeah. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand that wholeheartedly, but the funny thing is that this niche market that we are in, there is so widespread over the world. Yep. Where there's a lot of fans now, but a lot of them are spread out. My nephew is a fan of this market. You know what I'm saying? And he looks like 18-year-old Caucasian kid from Missouri. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I wouldn't say this market, this lane is niche anymore, because like you said, it's global. I'm saying like just like what we like, the music that's hot in Fort Worth is niche, like, and we're not finna make that shit. I'm sorry, I like it. It's cool for what it is, but it's like. Like, I don't know, it just ain't what compels me to make music. Like, I can't just sit down and be like, I'm finna make some shit that sound like what's hot in the city, even though I could do that shit. It's just like, I don't, you know what I mean?
But that ain't that ain't standout music. You know what I mean? Like, pun intended. That's not standout music. Like, y'all can make that Mo 3, y'all can make that Yellow Beezy, whatever that is. I mean, I'm sure y'all could be doing that, but then y'all just gonna sound like 16 other people that's doing the same thing. And that's
but the thing about it is, like I said, I started making beats in 2002, so I've been making beats before. Right. I was here before them. Like,
exactly.
I was like, I was already making beats. Man. Like when people still had hoop dreams, I got cut from the team, so I've been making beats.
That shit, exactly.
What name a rapper from Fort Worth?
Rest in peace, G Money, Lil Ronnie. No, he's from Dallas.
He's from Dallas.
He's from Dallas. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Go Yayo, Fort Worth, Twisted Black.
Twisted Black.
You might not be familiar.
CJ Casino. But that's pretty much it as far as like big artists from Fort Worth.
I think I heard Dallas,
you probably heard of like Big Extra Plug. He's the biggest thing out of Dallas right now. And he's fire. I like what he do. Yellow Beezy, Mo 3.
They from Dallas.
Mo 3.
And that's like 45 minutes away from us.
Ain't Mo 3 passed?
Yeah.
He got killed here?
That's Google it.
Yeah, he passed.
That's on the highway somewhere. Yeah,
it was in Dallas.
Yeah. In Dallas. That shit was wild, man.
Yeah, it's a lot going on with that.
So a lot of wild stuff going on out here.
I just see Twisted Black right now. Oh, Enchanting? Enchanting was a Gucci Man artist, wasn't it?
Is that a chick?
She's from Fort Worth from Stop 6.
I did not know. That was a Gucci Man artist right there. Gucci,
Sign with Gucci Man, go to jail and die.
So most of what?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's the part of the game they don't talk about right now. Like when you sign with the Gucci Man clone to the new 1017, you are pretty much signing yourself up for a prison bid or a dirt nap.
Hey, yo, that's fucked up. I know.
It's not the real Gucci. It's the clone Gucci.
I don't know nothing about
that. Gucci Man.
Look at the stats. Look at the stats and get back at me. Just Google the new 1017 and look at the roster and see who's where.
Hey, yo, forgive PrimoJAB and his QAnon conspiracies over here.
Nah, he right. I mean, he got a point.
It ain't the Dave Chappelle curse though. Come on now.
But shit, that's really any hot label right now. They just want a bunch of crash dummies that's gonna, lose their freedom or die so they can just, eat out their catalog for the next however many years. So they run them dry.
Well, not only that, the diabolical part of the game is that a lot of these labels, quote unquote, we'll call them labels, but these new age plantations, they take out insurance policies on their artists.
Yeah,
and that's why they sign the thirstiest, most grimiest, gutterest people that are going to be out there taking unnecessary chances and making poor decisions because they're like, it doesn't matter, Yeah, you put out some fire music, cool. I own all of your publishing, and not only that, if you get killed, I got insurance on you, so I'll get triple paid.
I want to crash out. Anyway,
it's very dark.
It's very dark, but it's real.
You're right, though. You're right.
That's why you got to own your own master.
Right. Free Cortez.
Free Cortez, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, what y'all got next on the horizon, man? Coming up here in this. It's the second quarter? No, it's first quarter still. What y'all got coming out in the first quarter?
Second quarter now.
Second quarter now.
It is? Damn.
So really, me personally, we trying to finish up the cook up. So we still got a couple more stir the pot, and then we trying to get wrapped up. Of course, like I said, we working with JUCO. That's the most immediate thing we got going on. I think that we got some work with
people saying May on that, right?
I think he said summertime. I know he said summer. We're trying to work with Jay Nice.
Oh, shout out to Jay Nice.
Fan of Jay Nice. Yeah, Jay Nice and Rush. Yeah, trying to get something in with them.
That's hot. That'd be hot. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. And then it's like I said, still trying to work with Heist Life too. Mm-hmm. And we got a couple. No, we work with Ty Farris, and we got a lot of stuff on the horizon with Vic Spencer too. Mm-hmm. So
nice.
we're just working, and so we just working. Like I said, we're in a position now where we could cook up something. And I'm fortunate enough to just you said something earlier about like how we're able to work with all these artists. And how like it's our sound, but we cater to them. But the fun fact is like whenever I'm making a beat, whoever beat I think it belongs to, I do their I'll do their ad lib, and if it makes sense to them, to the ad lib, I'll do like if I put a beat for Jamal Gasol and I say Piff, then I just text him the beat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or, like
I like that science. I like that science.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I make up a beat, if a beat might be like I might be like, it's Kaine, and I'll be like, I'll just text it to Eddie Kaine, and I can just text him these beats, and you know what I'm saying? And usually like if it's something that I don't know who else would want to rap over this, it's kind of weird. It's probably gonna go to Water or Vic Spencer.
Yeah.
So we just fortunate. So.
What's the Water ad lib that what sets it off for Water? But you just said if it's
Water. Yeah, we do that.
Water.
Yeah, we said, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
it's good science.
Like we just have we're fortunate to be able to bag. Yeah, bag, yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we'll say if the ad lib makes sense to the beat, we just send it to them. Like it's just that simple. That's why it seems like we are producing, like we are making like. We have these, these relationships where as soon as I hear a sample, I kind of know who the beat is for before I even make the beat. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, like, even I'll give you one more fun story. Jamal Gasol came to Fort Worth to shoot the videos for Stir Pot 22 and 23. And so at this time, my daughter was like a couple months old, and of course I'm like doing all these video shoots and all this stuff, and my wife is like with the newborn, overstimulated and all that stuff. And so like that Sunday, she was like, I need to go to the store and stuff like that. And so like the baby was with me and she was crying. And so after this interview, I want y'all to go listen to Stir the Pot 24. So that's the sample I came across. And so once I start looping it, and it started making sense, like my daughter fell asleep. So it kind of played out like a lullaby. You know what I'm saying? So I was making this beat. So she fell asleep. And then when my wife got home, I was like, hey, you know where I can get some chicken and waffles? And she got real mad. She was like, y'all gotta go fuck with bitches and drink the waffles and eat chicken and waffles and shit. And she was not having it. So I was like, no. So she was like, I was like, I'm gonna fold a couple baskets of laundry. I'm gonna help out. I know, so I appreciate you. So I went to go get Gasol from the hotel, and I'm playing them. I was like, yo, I just made this beat, and I played it for him. He was like, yo, man, this is Stir the Pot 24 right here. So I had just made that Stir the Pot 24. I had just made that a couple minutes before I went to go link up with them, and then I got him this chicken and waffles, called it in. He thrashed those. He, said that he was like, yo, son, I could take a nap right now. And I said, hell no. I said, yo, load that beat up. Like, let's
get to work.
So
that's right.
If you listen to Stir the Pot 24, that's my favorite Stir the Pot because of that story. But if you listen to what the vocal sample is saying, that's the story behind it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It's something like a pretty baby dope. Or whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, so like I said, that goes to the point where I hear a sample and I already know who I'm about to, like before I even cook the beat up, like, oh yeah, this is a Stir the Pot type beat right here. So yeah, that's how we do it.
Shout out to the Kansas City Smack Man, yo. The Crate Lord. Yeah, Piff. That's my guy right there, yo. I love him. I'm on Facebook with that motherfucker right there. He always saying some fly shit on Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
He be starting shit.
Yeah, he do. Yeah, that's the first time I interacted with him. He got into it with a Family Game Black on Instagram, aka Black Nazi. Them niggas went back and forth. I came in and played Farrakhan. I realized them niggas was both like, they was understanding. After that, man, After that, Jamal Gasol been one of my favorites, man.
Yeah.
He used the F word with that Vic Spencer.
He's getting better, he's getting better. And the thing about it is, Gasol, like we have, like I said, he's been out here twice. You know what I'm saying? So we record a lot of the Stir the Pots, the latest ones we did in person and stuff.
That's
so like
up.
we have that type of chemistry now to where, we could like it's like a steel sharpened steel. You know what I'm saying? Like I might send him a beat, he'd be like, "Yo, it's not soulful enough. It's not what I'm looking." He could say that. I'm not gonna take it personal. I done had him redo beats, add libs. Like sometimes, Stir the Pot 31, he said something about telling construction where to place the lumber, and I said, "Hey man, you gotta say pause after that." So I place
acceptable, absolutely.
I swear, if you listen to the song, he said pause. That's because I said, "Yeah, you gotta say pause on that, bro."
Yeah. I like the way you think. I like the way you think. A.dot, I like the way you think. Yo, you gotta say it.
Just to be on the safe side.
That's right.
Don't you don't want Will Smith to get a hold of the record and be like, "Hey."
Yeah.
What?
Right.
Will Smith.
What the?
Will Smith, man.
I don't even know, man.
Hey, yo, Will Smith to be on my Instagram. I don't got 8,000 followers on Instagram no more because I said Will Smith will probably knock me out and SA me. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he smacked Chris Rock.
You should have said that.
Yeah. But I didn't say it like
I hate to break this to you, but you're the one that got you kicked off of Instagram.
Whatever, man. He should never smack Chris Rock
like that.
Will Smith didn't tell you to write that.
He said SA now. He said he ain't saying the other stuff no more.
Getting jiggy with it. Anyway, Karl, what else we got?
So I know we're kind of wrapping up, but I got to tell you how much I appreciate you coming on. It's, again, the reason I love doing this podcast is we get a dynamic in the music, which is great. But to be able to sit down and understand the personalities behind what makes the music is so much more enriching for me as a fan. So I love the music. I'll be so much more tapped in now just because of the personalities of the two of you, knowing the familial connection and the fact that you guys have put in so many hours of work together, just adds another layer to me as far as the great story of the Standouts. So, I'm just really happy you guys were able to come kick it with us and I can't wait to hear the new projects. I will say I was kind of hoping one of you would mention Mickey Diamond because I would love to hear you guys with Mickey on a record. Would be great.
Us too. I think we tried to send him some. He's not playing. Like, he picks dope beats. So some of these artists are they're picky, and it's not in a bad way. It's just like one thing I learned with us is like once we get the first placement and like and it works on the artist side and our side, like I think the artists find themselves pushing a pen to the best of their abilities and really coming up with dope music when they trust us. And just like C.Dot used to always say, man, if we could just get an artist to just rap over just rap, stop thinking about it, just start rapping, it'll make sense, and so that, and then on the artist end, when the song gets positive feedback that you never know how it's going to be received, but the feedback is generally positive when they work with us. So it's like we kind of we want to bring value to whoever we work with, and so like when people don't pick beats, it's all good. We gonna like once they pick one, it's on. What I'm saying? But I do like Mickey Diamond. He's dope. We tried to reach out to him. I think he tried to reach out to us. We just haven't locked in yet. So yeah,
I'm gonna hit his DM and drop some hints because I would love to hear it. So
tell him we got some shit.
Yeah, tell him. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Definitely.
But thank you again. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. This has been
appreciate
super
y'all
dope.
having us too.
This was dope.
We don't take this for granted. Like y'all could have interviewed anybody. You know what I'm saying?
So. Appreciate it.
What up, PrimoJAB? What we got? PrimoJAB, what we got?
Yeah, no, the honor is all ours, man. It's it was really something that I was fortunate to be able to catch up with y'all and get this locked in, man. So yeah, thanks for spending some time with us. Thanks for taking the time and really appreciating your craft from both directions, man. Like A.dot, like if you hadn't have been all the way tapped in the way you were and had that, those drives playing Cuban links, if not
escort,
not even knowing, that you were laying that foundation mentally for you coming out and, teaming up with Lil Cuz, blessing him with those jewels, man. Now y'all came together and created this super team that y'all out here doing amazing work, making the rappers that y'all work with sound like they supposed to sound. And that has to be a great feeling of accomplishment and achievement. And people need to know y'all ain't playing. If they didn't know you weren't playing before, they absolutely know it now.
It's serious business.
But your track record, like I said, it speaks for itself, man. Y'all been, holding people down since your names have been appearing in they lining. So it's, it was only right that we got a chance to big you up and, let y'all get some shine as far as, and tell your stories and everything, man. So again, thanks for being here. Can't wait to hear what's coming in the future, man. Now I'm gonna hear the people's ad libs every time I hear a beat and be like, "Yep, okay, yep, you're right." See, that is a walk. That is a Jamal. Yep, that is G's. Okay, yep, I hear it. So yeah, man, keep doing what y'all doing, man. We looking forward to the next, man. Absolutely.
Sure. I got a final question right here. It's kind of going to be a tough one, but I don't even know how y'all going to answer it or who y'all going to pick. UGK or Outkast?
Damn. Hey, you know what? I got to go with UGK because when I was in college, I pledged. I'm an Alpha, and my LB, he's from Port Arthur. Him and his twin brother, they from Port Arthur, and they play UGK heavy. And I gotta, and when I went to Port Arthur for the first time, they drove me by Pimp C's house. And he was still alive at this time. And so, when he said, crashed up the grade one, bought me a red.
Yeah.
That was really in the parking lot. Like, he wasn't lying. And so, man, and Andre 3000 as a rapper is one of the best rappers, period. Like, but if you saying UGK versus Outkast, UGK for me, personally.
And me, I'm going to go Outkast. For all of the obvious reasons, but mainly because I had a Stankonia CD, and it was the only CD I had at one point, and I used to listen to that motherfucker like front to back, and it was so different, and I feel like it got a heavy influence on like my little tweaks and quirks about my style musically. So I feel like, and then like, you know what I'm saying, like, of course, outside of all of the obvious things that you can give Outkast accolades for, I would say because of that Stankonia album, really stuck with me more than, and I was too young to be listening to Pimp C and UGK. Like, it was wild, but as I grew older, I understood and, appreciated Pimp C for what he did for the South as far as like laying down that legacy of like, hey, them niggas ain't playing down there, like, and don't play with them, like type shit. So shout out to Pimp C and Bun B, and Uncle Bun B always be a Texas legend. So that's a tough ass question.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Great question, Lukey.
But the question is continued before we get off here. Would you trade either one of those in for Wu-Tang Clan?
Nah. I love the Clan,
but the Clan, and don't get me wrong, RZA one of my favorite producers, Raekwon one of my favorite rappers.
He's my favorite rapper. Like, I love the Clan, but it's something about like the roots, like the Southern roots. Like, you can't do that. Like how you would do that with no group from the South. Like, you would trade.
It's Pimp C, bro. Like, come on, man.
It's Pimp C.
I know.
Like, come on, big boy. Like,
come on, bro.
That's a terrible. Wow, Lukey.
Hey, they are definitely people out there from all over the world to be like Wu-Tang over everything. You know what I'm saying? Word. So I was gonna say,
that's a tough question.
It is. He's riding the car to Cuban Links 2 hours in an escort. You know what I'm saying? That's dedication.
Right. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna happen. I didn't think he was gonna answer Wu-Tang, but still. And I knew that.
And it's like we probably even like Wu-Tang music better than we like as far as the whole catalog, because it's the Wu-Tang. Come on now, like, it's like the catalog better, but it's like coming up down here. Yeah. It's like, man, like Master P, Cash Money. It's just like certain shit.
Early Boosie,
you don't do without. It's necessary.
I definitely was thinking A.dot was gonna pick. I thought you was gonna pick UGK, and I thought you was gonna pick Outkast because of the age.
Yeah,
exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But the Wu-Tang question, me, I'm Wu-Tang all day. You know what I'm saying? I'm Wu over to everything. The slang.
I'm taking MF Doom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Understandable for sure.
I moved here to Atlanta in '93. Southern Playlist of Cadillac Music had just dropped, and I was super into Outkast at the time. And I had moved here from California, from Toronto before that. So, I was influenced by, and I'm older than all of y'all. I'm pretty sure of it. So, but like, EPMD and that whole era and Cool G Rap and just, going, all over the place. And when I went to California in '91, and you had like Snoop and Dre and everybody Tupac was really kind of popping off. And then I moved to Atlanta in '93 and
that's me,
TLC 93. And Outkast and
Wu-Tang.
Everything was dropping.
Tribe Called Quest.
Gangstar.
That's changed my life. Power Rangers dropped the same year. Power Rangers dropped the same year as Wu-Tang. In that Midnight Marauder. No, it was No Interior Midnight Marauders. I forget.
Midnight Marauders.
Yeah.
And that changed my life. Niggas was watching Power Rangers. I was playing 36 Chambers. You know what I'm saying? Word.
Me too, but I'd still take Doom.
Yeah. But once again, fuck that. I don't know, man. But yo, thank y'all for coming on the joint. You know what I'm saying? Getting y'all story out there. Oh, wait, pause.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
coming on the joint. Yeah.
See, I wasn't even. I was blind to it, But that is a good one. Yeah. That was a good one. Yeah, acceptable.
You gotta be safe. Like on Boondocks, you just gotta say it. You gotta say. You gotta be careful. Anyway, thank y'all for coming on the horn. Thank y'all for coming on the show. Pause. That's a pause too. You can't come or go nowhere. Anyway, we'll see y'all next week. You know what I'm saying? 188. You know what I'm saying? We great. Standouts, Fort Worth, Texas. Fuck all y'all. Oh, shout out to the tariffs. Yeah.
Peace.
All right, man. Thank y'all for having us.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.